Okay, welcome back here to the shop. I don't know why I've got this in the way. Just want to talk about something real quick that sometimes bothers me, and I'm not pushing any products. Just showing you what I do here in the shop. I have to wear glasses to see up close these fine things, but this is nothing more than sharpening a drill occasionally. I just had a piece of material I thought I would drill into, maybe in there, get it out of the way. I've seen some videos come out, I'm sure you have too. I just didn't want anybody to form their own opinion. The best way, if you can, to sharpen a drill, I'm sure, is on a little grinder that you can just take the drill and, by hand. I don't have that much experience doing that. I can do it a little bit, but it's hard for me to see small things, and even the bigger ones I don't have that much experience doing. So this is for those guys that just want to hurry up and sharpen a drill and get back to work. This little drill doctor, this is a 500X. They make a 750X, it'll go up to 3/4. But if you get to those large of drills, it takes a long time to grind with this little bitty thing. So it's not a great tool. It's a good tool. Works good. You'll see videos out there, and I'm not really afraid to say the name. Chucky 2009 did a review on this one time, and he slaughtered it and bashed it and said it wasn't any good, it didn't work good, and it was cheesy and junky. It's really not. I've used these for probably 15 years, not just this model. I had one earlier than this that I bought from the Snap-on Tools truck years ago, and they work as designed. They're not the greatest thing in the world, but they do sharpen a drill. They'll sharpen your drill bit. That's what they're made to do. That's what they do. If it doesn't do that, you're doing something wrong, period. End of story. It's not this. It's not the cause of this. That makes me furious to watch videos of people. I think I've seen 3 different ones. I mean, one was Chuck, and which his name Lance, actually. The other one was a good friend of mine, actually. What's his name? Harold at the Amateur Redneck Workshop. He done a review, and he couldn't make it work, and I don't remember what his result was, but I think it came away kind of sour, like, yeah, that thing don't work very good. But I think he admitted he really didn't know what he was doing. He's a good guy. But I just want to show you that they do work fine, and don't be afraid to use them. There's plenty of other videos of guys. They said they didn't find any videos on how to do it. I've seen a few just looking because they said that. I've never had any problem using one. I don't know why people have a problem. Maybe I read the manual and I just did what it said. I don't know. I tend to buy a piece of equipment. I'll put the operator's manual in there by the pot, and when you're sitting on the pot, I've got stacks of machinist books and different things that I read while I'm on the pot. That sounds disgusting, I know, but that's when I usually read every operator's manual of any piece of equipment I've ever owned. Cars, trucks, it don't matter. Lawnmowers, anything I own, I put it in there and I read it through several times till I understand it. It doesn't really cost me any time to do that because I'm just sitting there anyway, and what else you got to do? So I just noticed a minute ago that I had some 1/4-inch drills that I had tried to drill. I think it was that piece we drilled the other day that was hard, and I kind of messed them up. So one of them I've already sharpened a little bit in this, and again, this may not be the greatest edge in the world, but it looks just fine to me. And I even took this little gauge. This comes in the black book, in the back of the black book, and it come out real close to the same. It worked just fine. I only had about 118 degree point on these, and I haven't drilled with it, but I have before, and I know it'll work fine. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time. This is just kind of in the middle of this project that we've started here on installing the air conditioning, and I'm about to get busy on that in a minute. We went to an air show yesterday, so I was gone on Saturday. Now it's Sunday. Well, I got a few minutes here to do this, and then, well, I don't stand up to do this because I don't know if you can see me, but I think you're close enough to see. This is the drill dog, and here's how you do this. And you don't have to look at the book because I've already read it. There's 2 white marks on the sides of this little chuck that you put your drill in. So this one's dull. It's got some little chips on it. Where I went through that hardened material, it's pretty gouged up. Okay, you just stick that in there and lightly turn this to where you can still move the drill, but it doesn't have a lot of slop, but you can still, this thing's kind of dirty, I need to blow it out, but just kind of loosely stick it in there. Now, remember the little white marks, there's one on each side here. Those go at 3 and 6 o'clock, 3 and 9 o'clock, straight across from each other. And there's a cog that fits in right here, straight up in the center. And there's some other lines where you can move that one way or the other to change your degree a little bit. I don't do that. I don't really know what exactly. You could play with that and make it probably drill a little different. But once you pull this, see if you can see, there's some little things that grab your drill right there and they make it straight. Make sure your white marks are at the 3 and 9 o'clock position. And when that latches your drill, just push against it, make sure it's got it latched, and then start. Make sure this is in now. I also saw Chucky doing things that were weird. I just turned that wrong like a dummy because I'm talking instead of doing. Anyway, latch that in there, tighten this up. I keep screwing up when I got the camera on. I've never had an issue with this. We're in there right now. There we go. Just snug that down. I'm kind of breaking thing, just snug it down. Now, right here, this has a cam here. You know, I saw him just kind of put it in here and do it basically like this. He never even engaged it. And he was like, this thing don't even work. Why in the world could anybody be so non-observant to see that that's a cam shape? And it rides up here on this pin, so you put it down in here. Now, about where that white mark is where it's going to cut in both sides of your drill. So when you turn it, it's going to go, and you know, just hold it kind of in that cam, hold it down in there. You don't have to hold it hard, but hold it up against that pin kind of, so that it's riding on that. You can feel it. It's riding on there. Okay, that's not difficult. I've never had any issue with it. So let's turn it on, and you want to do an even number of turns because you have 2 flutes that you're sharpening. So I don't know, go about 10, or you can go till it quits grinding, and you can adjust. This one don't have the knob on the back, but I believe that you can turn that to make it adjust how much it cuts. But you can just stop whenever you look at it and see that it's sharp enough. So let's turn it on. It's kind of noisy, and let's just do this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If I turn it out, I like to remember where I was in case I want to hit it some more. I'll start right back where I left off. This one was gouged up pretty bad, so I wanted to do it quite a bit. And no, I can't. But you can see that it's, I know you can't, but I'm just telling you, if you think it's not quite right, you can hit it some more. It looks like it's probably got it enough. Now, after you do that, there's another hole in the side of this thing right here, so you can kind of split the point, narrow that web thickness of your bit or whatever. It makes it work a little better. So you just do that twice. There's a little white mark that lines up with a marker at the top of this. So let's do that. pretty good. When you do that, you can see where it's cutting on the side of the flute there. I usually just try to time it about the same on both sides, and then I look at it and see if it looks like it got about the same depth cut on both sides, and that's really all. And I've done this a lot. You can do this a lot faster. I'm just doing it slow because I'm talking about it, but you know, if you want, you can look at the gauge, and it's right on. And I don't have any doubt that this will cut. A 1/4 inch is a pretty good sized drill to be starting with no pilot, honestly. But I think what I'll do, and this chuck on this drill don't hold very well, so I need to get it replaced. This has a lifetime warranty on this, but let's just see if you can see. I'll go ahead and show you the tip. I don't know if you can focus on that, but well, that's kind of hard to focus in it. But anyway, it looks fine. So let's just see if we can drill a little hole with it. I don't have any doubt that it will, but see if I can line up to go through this table, one of the holes on this table. Let's just see. Yeah, I should have had a pilot. This is 1/4 inch material, and it is drilling it, but you know, without a pilot, it's going to take you a minute to get a 1/4 inch hole. But it's putting some pretty fine chips. Now, that's what I mean. You could probably adjust a little bit of the pitch of that if you wanted. Here's the one I did right before it. Maybe we'll cut one with a pilot too and see what the difference is, but I feel like it's pretty tight. I mean, pretty sharp. I just it's putting out some shit. I don't know if you can see. I know you can't see it real well. My battery's going dead on me. But anyway, that's just, I just sharpened both of these on this, and it worked fine. You would really want to put a pilot to drill with a 1/4 inch. That's hard on your drills too. But I don't see any damage to this one. I did the flute thickness a little longer on that one. But you know, if you didn't like the cut, you could go in and do it again and make sure you didn't have it off just a little bit. But overall, it works well. I mean, it's not a bad tool at all. These things ain't very expensive. I think they're, I don't know exactly, say 120 bucks maybe for something like this. And it's a saver around the shop, you know, when you just can't start with. I only have one grinder set up right now because I'm still setting things up, and it's more of a general use to grind a piece of metal, and it's way in the back of the corner, not real handy to get to. I doubt very seriously with my 49-year-old eyes I could see good enough to even get that well, but you know, there's guys that can do a lot better job of sharpening. This has some different adjustments you can play with and probably get better cuts than that, but there's nothing wrong with these. I know there's other brands of these probably out there. This is the Drill Doctor 500X. I'm not pushing it. I don't care if you buy one or not. I'm just trying to tell you, if you've seen any videos of people saying these are a piece of garbage, they're really not. They work fine. I've used them 15 or 20 years. I've been using these around the shop for just quickly. You know, I would rather use them on something, say 3/8 drill and smaller, but you can use this all the way up to 1/2 inch. It just takes a long time to grind that much material because it's just a little small diamond wheel grinder in there that you can replace that wheel in there too if you want. You know, just, I don't know, you can order them from wherever. You can probably get these on Amazon or eBay, or a lot of general hardware stores, they actually sell these. But anyway, we'll get back to our project here in a minute. I just wanted to stop and I needed to sharpen those. I just thought I'd show that right quick. So if you have any comments about this, please let me know. There's a good chance I may be doing something wrong here that you found that would be easier, but don't let any of the guys tell you these don't work, as they do work just fine. So anyway, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.